Welcome back to Exotic Car Play Place, everyone. Thanks for joining in on this beautiful sunny afternoon. Today we're going to talk about why Lexus could literally learn something from BMW when it comes to designing the new cars. After all, Lexus has some new models coming up as well as BMW, but who's really reaching for the boundaries? Let's get into it now. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Mark with Exotic Car Play Place, and today... So currently with this world crisis, it still amazes me how BMW manages to pull together some great new innovative products for 2020, 21, and even up to 2024. And we're going to talk about some very, very interesting cars that BMW is going to be planning on releasing in the next few years. Sadly, when we talk about Lexus, they are playing it safe. Now, we all know Lexus is a dependable, solid workhorse. Great cars, you can't go wrong. However, they're a little bit on the soft and boring side. So this is where I come to the point. Lexus really does need to take a closer look at what companies like BMW are doing and planning innovation, exciting products that are going to rejuvenate the company and bring people back to the brand. After all, when we talk about Lexus, what do they got coming up this year? Well, the highlights are an LC500 convertible, which is a beautiful car, but that's it. They're just making a convertible version of it. The IS model, also, disappointingly, small amount of changes, some small face changes, as well as some little minimal changes within the interior. The drivetrains are largely going to stay more or less the same. And so it's a little disappointing what Lexus is promoting for this next year, couple years coming up. BMW, on the other hand, has some really exciting new products, and I really can't help but share some of these cars with you. So let's start out with the juiciest piece of information, and it is the brand new BMW M5. Now there's some different changes going on with the M5 coming up. It's going to be a Club Sport or CS version, and that's going to be an amazing car. They expect to see about 650 horsepower on the current F90 generation. It'll be all-wheel drive. There's going to be more carbon fiber, for example, on the hood and the roof, and it's altogether going to be an exciting new car. Make sure you want to get your hands on that machine. But even more exciting in the BMW M5 realm is in 2024, BMW is proposing to come out with some entirely new drivetrains, things that you've never seen really from BMW before. They're suggesting there's two possible drivetrain options. One being a hybrid, producing somewhere in the neighborhood of about 750 combined horsepower. That'll be a gas engine combined with electric motors driving that machine. And currently we're looking at it being on the 400 volt architecture. Of course, BMW looking to expand that up to the 800 volt architecture, not too unlike the Porsche Taycan, which would improve charging time as well as overall performance and efficiency. Now, even more exciting, in 2024, the second drivetrain is looking like a pure electric. We're talking about two 250 kilowatt electric motors to a total combined output of over 1,000 horsepower. That's right, we're looking at a vehicle now that can match the Bugatti Veyron in terms of output in the BMW realm. 4 doors and a trunk. How exciting is that? The expected range on that would also be about 435 mile range, and a 0 to 60 would be cracking 2.8, 2.9 seconds is what they're saying now. Likely with all-wheel drive, I would expect even maybe quicker than that when you actually put rubber to the road. So we will see. That should be exciting news by BMW in 2024. Other exciting news for 2021, the brand new exciting 4 Series Coupe is coming out. We're talking about a 430 and a 440. The 430 being a 2-liter turbocharged engine that is expected to produce about 255 horse and about 294 twisting torques, and should produce about a 5.6 second 0 to 60 time. But even more exciting is the 440 coming out associated with the new design, which should include the 3-liter twin scroll turbocharged engine, which makes about 382 horsepower and approximately 369 pound-feet of torque, should crack the 0 to 60 mile per hour time in about 4.4 seconds. But even more exciting on the innovation perspective, these cars now have a regenerative system, and so under hard acceleration, the car will gain an additional 11 horsepower and again regenerate during braking and slowing down motions. Now, the overall new chassis is going to be exciting, and it's very controversial with the large front opening on the grille. That's been talked about for a long time, and now it looks like it is coming to fruition. At the very least, you can't deny that it looks aggressive. As well, the new car should be wider, longer wheelbase, and taller overall. The 440, of course, if you want the Turbo 6, you're going to get some other exclusive bits. You're going to get a wing, other additional gray accents, larger grills, a more dominant front end. The mirrors and the exhaust tips will make the 440 stand out from the base 430. Now, another very exciting piece of news in the BMW world. In 2021, they're looking at a new i4. This promises to be the most powerful 4 Series car ever. As a matter of fact, it will likely outdo the M4 when the M4 eventually comes out following the standard coupe. The i4, being pure electric, is expected to make about 372 miles of range and promises to have horsepower output numbers of 530 horsepower and about 600 pound-feet of torque. You'll likely see 2 electric motors, should give this thing great traction, and unfortunately this car won't be available right away in all markets, but I would expect it to start trickling through the different markets. Canada might be delayed, but I would expect to see this in Europe and United States in the first series of releases. So more to the point, companies like BMW and a lot of others are innovating. They're always stretching their legs, looking for the next most exciting option. Building an electric car, building a hybrid car doesn't mean it has to be boring. Now, while Lexus has created cars that are consistent and dependable and reliable, sometimes they may want to look outside that scope and do things like BMW. Sure, maybe BMW's priority number one isn't the ultimate reliability, but it is in fact the ultimate driving machine, and that's why BMW has stretched and Lexus really does need to pull up their socks and maybe learn a little something from BMW in the innovation department. Thanks a lot, everyone. I know you really enjoyed the video. If you did, of course, and you're not already a subscriber, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I'd really love you guys to join the channel. I'm sure you'll enjoy the content as well. If at the very least you just want to check out another great video, right there, the link. You won't miss that, and you want to learn about 2020's greatest luxury cars of the year. I hope to see you guys real soon. Catch you on the flip side. Bye-bye.